Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Today we have our third match against TheKillerNacho from battles 36 and 45. Again, he is a very long-standing PokeTuber, and again, this match did take place on his stream a couple of weeks ago. And as you can see, he has a strong and cool-looking team there, so it should definitely be another good one, and we're going to get into it. So, looking at his team, I really wasn't sure what he was going to want to lead off with, so I just decided to lead with my Tapu Koko to try and maximize my options, as he ends up leading with the Golisopod. So, of course, my Electric Surge is going to activate right away to set the electric terrain on the battlefield. And, of course, he is going to go for the switch right away. Doesn't want to get taken out with an electric attack, so he's going to come in with Tapu Bulu. And the Grassy Surge is going to activate to replace my electric terrain with his grassy terrain, as I just decided to go for the U-turn, anticipating the switch on his side. That is going to take him down by about a quarter. I am going to take some Life Orb damage and, of course, get the mandatory switch directly into my Scissor. And then he is going to regain some health from the grassy terrain. So here he is going to go for another switch, doesn't want to take an attack from my Scissor, so he's going to come in with Heatran, as I am going to go straight for the Mega Evolution into Mega Scissor. And I just decided to go for a Bug Bite to try and get some damage on whatever he left in. Unfortunately, not going to do much to the Heatran, since it does resist it 4 times, and then he is going to regain some health from the grassy terrain. So here I am going to go for the switch. I don't want to get taken out with a fire attack, so I'm going to come in with my Gastrodon, predicting that, but he just decides to go for the Stealth Rock instead to get the entry hazard set up on me. And then he is going to regain more health from the grassy terrain. So this turn he actually catches me really off guard here by deciding to bust out the Z move, which ends up being the Grass Z move on the Heatran, which is of course going to be Bloom Doom. So this is no doubt coming off of Solar Beam, as it is the only grass move this thing can learn, and unfortunately there is no way I'm going to be able to survive that. So that is definitely going to one-shot kill my Gastrodon and drop me down to 5 Pokemon. And then he is going to regain the rest of his health from the grassy terrain. So then I'm going to come back in with Tapu Koko and take some damage from the rocks and get the Electric Surge to replace the grassy terrain with the electric terrain. And this turn I am going to go for the Wild Charge. I am max physical attack plus Life Orb plus the boost from the electric terrain. I figured that would have been enough to take this thing out. Unfortunately, he does survive that in the red, goes for the Earth Power, and that is going to be enough to finish off my Tapu Koko, dropping me down to 4 Pokemon. So this Heatran really doing a number on my team here. I have to try and turn things around, so I'm going to come in with my Dragonite and take some damage from the rocks, which does unfortunately break my multi-scale, as he is going to switch out there, wants to save his Heatran for later. He is going to come in with the Golisopod yet again, as I am going to go for the Extreme Speed, which actually activates his red card, which switches me out directly back into my Scissor, and then I'm going to take some damage from the rocks there. So he is just going to go for an Aqua Jet here to try and get some damage on me. Not going to do much of anything since I am max physical defense. I'm going to go for a Bug Bite in return, which he just barely survives in the red, but that is going to trip his emergency exit and send him directly back into his Heatran. So I am going to go for the switch here. I'm not confident that I can finish this thing off with a Bullet Punch, even from that health, since it does resist it 4 times. So I'm going to go back into my Dragonite and take more damage from the rocks, as he actually goes for the Magma Storm and misses, which was nice. So that is going to let me go for the Extreme Speed. This turn I am Choice Banded, so that is going to be enough to finish off the Heatran, dropping him down to 5 Pokemon, and that is it for the electric terrain. So then he is going to come in with Latios, and I'm going to be forced to switch out here. I don't want to take an attack from this thing, so I'm going to come in with my Cryogonal and take some damage from the rocks, as he does go for the Mega Evolution into Mega Latios. And he does go for the Dragon Pulse, So I am max special defense with an assault vest, so I do take that pretty well, surviving with about a half of my health. And he is going to go for the switch here, knows he's not going to take me out in one more attack with this thing, so he's going to come in with the Excadrill, and the Mold Breaker is going to come into play, as I am going to go for the Ice Beam to try and get damage on whatever he leaves in. That is going to take him down by about 2/3, which was pretty nice, but unfortunately he is just going to outspeed me this turn, go for the Earthquake. It does negate my Levitate thanks to the Mold Breaker, and that is going to be enough to finish off my Cryogonal, dropping me down to 3 Pokemon. So then I am going to come back in with my Scissor and take some more damage from the rocks. And he is going to go for the Earthquake here, just trying to take me out, I assume. But again, I am max physical defense, so I am going to survive that in the red with 23 health and go for a Roost, which is going to put me back up a little over half health, which was nice. So this turn he is just going to go for another Earthquake, again just trying to wear me down. And that is going to put me right back down to about a quarter of my health. So I just decided to go for a Bug Bite here, knowing that I wasn't going to gain much more health off the Roosts than he was going to deal with the Earthquakes. So that is going to be enough to finish off the Excadrill and drop him down to 4 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with the Golisopod, except it is actually not Golisopod. It is the Zoroark, actually, under the Illusion ability, and he is going to go for the Flamethrower. I stayed in thinking he might try to set up Nasty Plots, but he does just go straight for the attack, which does finish my Scissor, dropping me down to 2 Pokemon. So then I'm going to come back in with the Dragonite, take more damage from the rocks, as that does force him to switch out yet again back into the Tapu Bulu, and that is going to activate the Grassy Surge to get the Grassy Terrain back up on the battlefield, as I do go for an Extreme Speed, knocking him down to about a quarter health. He does survive, gains a little bit of health from the Grassy Terrain, but it is not going to be enough to survive another Choice Band Extreme Speed. That is going to finish off the Tapu Bulu, dropping him down to 3 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with Latios, and at this point I really have no switch options, so I just kind of have to stay in here and go for the Extreme Speed and hope for the best. That is going to knock him down to about a 1/3, but he does survive and go for the Psychic, which is going to finish off my Dragonite, dropping me down to just 1 Pokemon. So finally I am going to come in with my Gengar and take some damage from the rocks, which does break my Focus Sash, unfortunately. And unfortunately he is going to outspeed me here, go for the Psychic one more time, and that is going to be enough to kill my Gengar, and that is game. So I ended up losing this one 3-0 to the TheKillerNacho, but it was still a good match. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.